What's up, you guys? Stoopzz back again with another video. Now, with the new expansion on its way, I had the opportunity to kind of check out the new Battle for Azeroth Gladiator Mount, and personally for me, I did not really like that mount. That's just my opinion. I know some people really like how it looks, but for me, I just kind of looked at it and was like, but I thought it'd be a cool opportunity for a video to kind of go through all of the Gladiator mounts that have been released in World of Warcraft, all the way from Burning Crusade into the present Legion, as well as Battle for Azeroth. Now, I know some players have been around since Burning Crusade. Some of you are new to the game. Maybe you picked up the game in MoP or WoD, maybe Wrath. And through each expansion, Blizzard always releases a Gladiator mount. When you reach the top pinnacle of PvP for Rated Arena, you will earn a title for either Gladiator or rank 1. Now, with those titles for rank 1 being like Vengeful Gladiator, or perhaps even Demonic Gladiator, Tyrannical Gladiator, you keep that title forever. But for Gladiator, you only keep that title for 1 season. However, with both of those titles, again, you are rewarded a unique mount that you can only get during that season. Now, many of you know that I'm somewhat hard on Blizzard when it comes to their PvP rewards. But one of the more sought after rewards are those mounts. You earn a lot of respect for those mounts, and you definitely stand out when you're riding one throughout Dalaran or just in a BG. But some of them I think are kind of lame. Some of them are really cool. So in this video, I'm going to go through all of these mounts. I'm going to show you these mounts, and you guys can let me know in the comment section below what you think of these mounts, which mount is your favorite, and what you think about the mount that's coming out for Battle for Azeroth. So for the sake of this video, I'm on a simple page called Warcraft Mounts, and it lists all of the Gladiator mounts, all of the PvP mounts specifically, but it has a section for Arena. Now, if you're watching this video, you can't get any of these mounts anymore. That's what makes them unique and special, but I'll show you some of my favorite mounts. I'll go through each expansion. We can kind of compare and contrast and see if Blizzard and the PvP development team is in fact trying to innovate and create unique mounts that are worthwhile. So in Burning Crusade, we had the 4 seasons: Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4. And if you were able to achieve Gladiator or rank 1, you would be rewarded with the Swift Nether Drake. Now, this mount, in fact, and you can see at the bottom of the screen, they have the Vengeful, the Merciless being Season 2, Vengeful being Season 3. This one is one of my favorites of all time, and also the Brutal Nether Drake. Now, these mounts, the Nether Drake mounts from Burning Crusade, are one of my favorite Gladiator mounts. I think Blizzard did a really good job on these mounts for its time. I still love seeing people in Dalaran or in Battlegrounds or even arenas that rock these mounts. The Merciless mount is probably my second favorite when it comes to all of these mounts, but I even in fact had the Vengeful Nether Drake. I just loved Season 3. It was one of my favorite seasons of all time in World of Warcraft, and I think Blizzard did a great job on these mounts. But then we moved into Wrath of the Lich King. Now, Wrath of the Lich King had some very interesting Gladiator mounts. Kind of had that Frost Worm feel from either Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne or obviously Wrath of the Lich King, Arthas related. I like these mounts. They didn't feel too unique to me. I like the color scheme. The Furious Gladiator mount is one of my favorites from this expansion because it does have that very Frost, that Wrath of the Lich King Arthas vibe to it. But out of all of them, the Wrathful Gladiator Frostworm I liked the most. It had that demonic vibe to it. You knew it came from Wrath of the Lich King, but again, it has that like fell green look to it, that Scourge look to it, and it was very unique for its time. And I think it's one of the mounts that many players sought after during that expansion. And you can see that for Season 5, the Deadly Gladiators mount didn't look too unique. I feel like this mount was one of the mounts that was kind of skipped over for this expansion, and you will see this in a lot of the other expansions. Some of the mounts look really good, and then some of them just don't look like they put any innovation into it at all, or it was just like, what other colors do we have? How can we make it unique? And to be honest, I would like to see them make unique mounts for every season. Like, they're not the same. They all look different, completely different models, but I know it's a lot of work, but this is something that I would hope for from Blizzard, perhaps in the future. I know with Legion we have a lot of seasons, and it's probably hard to come up with 6 really cool unique mounts. It feels a little lazy to me, but I'm not trying to be too hard on Blizzard here. And then we hit Cataclysm. Now, personally for me, at the time, I didn't like the Twilight Drakes. I know some people, when I asked them, Season 10 was their favorite mount, the Ruthless Gladiator mount. These were just not my favorites. I know it's all personal opinion, but I was never a big fan of the Twilight Drakes. But then we hit Mists of Pandaria. And for a lot of players, if you ask them today, they think MoP was the best PvP expansion ever, or PvP really excelled during MoP. Now, once again, your favorite expansion is obviously opinionated. Just because you liked Wrath of the Lich King doesn't mean it was the best PvP expansion ever. Just because you liked BC or even WoD, for example, doesn't mean those expansions were the best PvP expansions ever. But as far as mounts go, I really like the Season 12 Malevolent Gladiator Cloud Serpent. I think this one looked, to me, one of the coolest mounts. I know a lot of people already had Cloud Serpents. I kind of don't like that concept. I get it. And they use this in every expansion, that they have like a dulled or a dumbed down Drake or a dumbed down mount that you can acquire like through doing PvE. And then the Gladiator mount just is an armored version of that mount. All of the Cloud Serpents in general, whether they're the PvP version or just the PvE version that you acquire throughout the game, they look really cool. But the armor set on these mounts with the little throne here that you sit on, I think it looks really cool. Also, these Drakes, or these Cloud Serpents, I'm sorry, have like lightning coming off of them. So I think in general, they looked really good. And with the added armor set, I'm a big fan of Mop's Gladiator mounts. And I think they looked amazing. But this does not hold true for the next expansion. Now, in my opinion, I think Mop did a great job recovering from the last expansion, or the previous expansion, that being Cataclysm, their mounts. I know people really like these mounts, but for me, they weren't my favorite. I think Mop did a much better job, or at least the models looked better. The armor set looked better. But then we went to arguably one of the worst expansions ever for World of Warcraft in general, perhaps, PvP especially, and that was Warlords of Draenor, or WoD. And you'll hear a lot of meme jokes about WoD. Now, this was the first time ever that a Gladiator mount could not fly. It had no flying ability. And in WoD, we had these mounts. This was the first season mount for the 16th arena season. It was like a Fell Blood Grundling. I can never pronounce that word, but they're like these big land trolls. I don't like these at all. I think they're hideous, and I hate the fact that they can't fly. But out of all of these, this season is my favorite. I like the green. I absolutely hated the wild Gladiator one. It looks so ugly. It's like a big albino gorilla with like just red on it. I don't like the fact that they have one eye. I just don't like them. I mean, they're just not that cool to me. They have some cool features on them that separate them from the other ones. But I was really disappointed with these mounts, as well as that expansion in general. And even this one, I mean, the fact that they couldn't fly and the fact that that expansion wasn't doing well in general made, for me, this expansion, these mounts, some of the most memorable, or at least I remember them as some of the worst Gladiator mounts, or if not the worst Gladiator mounts, PvP expansion in general for World of Warcraft. Now, on a positive note, Legion has probably, in my opinion, the best Gladiator mounts of all time. I mean, Blizzard really did a great job on these mounts. I mean, in general, you have to understand that these are just armored versions of the Storm Drake, so you can get an unarmored version of these mounts. So if you're looking at these like, wow, I really want one of those mounts, but I'll never be good at PvP, you can get a Storm Drake, and I'll try and show one here on the screen somewhere. You can get a Storm Drake, which still looks really badass. It doesn't have all the armor on it, but you can still get a Drake like this to remember Legion. Now, once again, these mounts, in my opinion, are some of the sickest mounts across any PvP season. Almost all of them are amazing. This is the first season of Legion. The blue aura effect that they have off the wings, each one will have this little like highlight effect you can see when you're flying. There's also like dark clouds coming off the wings. I'll try and show footage of mine, I guess, on the screen somewhere here. And they have lightning coming off of them. The second season of Legion looked really good too. This one is one of my favorites from the entire expansion. I'll show you guys my favorite Gladiator mount of all time coming up here very soon. But I really like this one because of that blue aura and the blue skin tone and just the armor feel. And then all of them look really good. This is season 3. I like how all the Drakes have like a weird aura as well underneath their chin. You can see this one has like a gold aura. This one, for a lot of players, I know when I talk to them, this is their favorite. Just the like color scheme, the purple wings, the purple armor with the gold accents. The tail also looks really good. So I think Blizzard once again did an amazing job on these, and they all look once again really good. This mount, not my favorite, but it still looks good if you're into that dark color scheme. It's a darker Drake, purple armor, so kind of like the previous season before that. The armor with different accents and then a different color scheme in terms of the dragon skin. This one is also really cool. So it looks similar to the other ones, but just like the color scheme is reversed, right? So we still keep the gold accent, but now instead of purple armor, we have like dark armor, and then we have like a light purple skin. So they did a really good job on this one. And then we get to the current season. So when you're watching this video, we are in season 6. I can't even remember. Let me make sure. Season 6. This Drake, again, they look really good as far as just like across all of the mounts, but this one's the absolute worst, right? I mean, it's not my favorite. I just don't like the brown. I feel like they could have kept this armor and just done a different color, Maybe like a light blue. Like I already have a light blue. I guess you run out of options when you have so many seasons, but maybe a red dragon or something. I just don't like this brown. I don't know when they drew this up or they took this into the office, like, you guys think about this one, and they all said yes to this, or did they just say we run out of mounts, like we don't have time, just put it in the game? This one's just ugly. I guess if you like have like a cool armor set that might match this, but just like it doesn't make any sense, right? You have a brown dragon with like blue, like a blue wing aura, and then like dark blue armor. I don't understand this one at all. But then now we're gonna go to my favorite Gladiator mount, which is not out yet, but it's gonna be for the last season of Legion. This one I think is the best Gladiator mount of all time. This is the Demonic Gladiator's Storm Dragon, and this one just looks so sick. The dark black armor with the silver trim, the purple wings, and then I think for the first time ever, they decided to change up the wing aura. If you look at these ones, we have that like blue, like, I don't know, shadowing that's coming off of the wings. But on this one, it's so unique that it's green. So they kept this fell green color, and then the Drake underneath the chin, you can see like the fell green, like kind of like pulsing through the dragon's mouth underneath the claws as well. You can see at the bottom of the screen here. It just looks so Legion. If I see this mount, I can instantly think of Legion. Even the icon looks like Legion, right? Just like the Illidan style where he has all those markings all over his skin, underneath the jaw, and then just underneath the feet, and then the aura off the wings. It just looks perfect. They did an amazing job on this Drake, and you can see even like just underneath the claws. And I feel like they did this because this is going to be a long season during Legion, right? We only have one season left. The next expansion is not coming out till September, I believe. So we have like several months, and I think they want to encourage players to compete and participate in PvP for this Drake, and the title itself, Demonic Gladiator. So if you get rank 1, one of the sickest titles of all time in World of Warcraft, and one of the best mounts ever. And then now we head into Battle for Azeroth, and we have the new Gladiator mounts. These are the Gladiator Proto Drakes, and to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I know some people like them. This is just my opinion. I do like this season out of all of them, but I just think they look ugly. The armor mask, like I don't know, you can't even see, like, they have like these little pokes where their eyes are, these little holes. I just don't like Proto Drakes. I feel like they look like giant frogs, and they walk all goofy, like they like stumble over each other. They just look like giant little flying frogs or like weird little crab creatures, and the mouths are disgusting. Like, it's just, for me, not my favorite. And I honestly want to point out as well that all of these are always Drakes, like they're always dragons, except the Golem, right? We had the hideous wad mounts over here, and they weren't Drakes, they weren't dragons, they were these giant golems. You know, looks like from Lord of the Rings or whatever. And that was like a nice little, even though I don't like them, they were a nice like attempt to kind of innovate and try a different type of PvP Gladiator mount or arena mount, and instead went with these Proto Drakes. I guess we've never had Proto Drakes before. I would have liked to see something completely different. Since it's Battle for Azeroth and there's a lot of dinosaurs in Battle for Azeroth, I would have liked to have seen perhaps like a pterodactyl mount. I know we have pterodactyl mounts. You can see like these jellyfish. We have like these dinosaurs, maybe a giant T-Rex or like a velociraptor, something very unique. Even a flying frog or something. I don't know. Like, we even have these little hovercrafts here. These look really cool. I just don't like the fact that, number one, you know, here's the pterodactyls that you can see here. These look really cool, right? I like these pterodactyls. Maybe put like rockets on them or something unique or interesting. I'm not a art designer, so you know, I don't work for Blizzard, and obviously they know what they're doing here. But these look better in my mind than those Proto Drakes. I know some people at home like these Proto Drakes, but this is just my opinion. I would have liked to have seen something a little bit more revolutionary or different, but it does kind of bum me out that, you know, these are the mounts that we're going to be getting for the next expansion when it comes to PvP. This one looks pretty cool. I mean, this one I like. Out of all of them, I dig this one. It just doesn't like pop out to me. It's not like, whoa, what is that mount? It's just kind of like, it's a Proto Drake with armor. I don't know. But that is just my opinion, you guys. If you like the Proto Drakes, if you like the other mounts that I did not like, you can let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what your favorite Gladiator mount is. Which expansion is your favorite expansion? Which season was your favorite season? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any more questions related to my channel or the next expansion regarding PvP or all the other nonsense, you can leave me in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you guys right away. Try to miss me on my live stream, answer all of your guys' questions in depth. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.